Hey, do you have 5 minutes to learn a valuable lesson that is going to help you stick to your exercise change efforts? If yes, let me share a story. Now, this story doesn't have anything to do with exercise. What it does have to do with is a concept that helped me, which I think will help a lot of people stay consistent with exercise. So in 2016, I had just finished my master's degree in exercise science. I was working as a college strength and conditioning coach. Now, this was in May, so I planned on continuing there with my job. I also was teaching at the college, so I was making maybe something like $40,000 a year, and that was fine for a 26-year-old who was living in upstate New York. The cost of my rent was about what I paid for my car right now in Boston. But a few months later, just as the school year was getting going, yes, I was dumped. I was no longer in a relationship. Then later, in a staff meeting, the athletic director ended up going on a tirade demanding that we win more games. Mind you, we already were kind of a powerhouse of a Division III school. But anyways, he looked right at me in this middle of this rant and said, "Justin, you're good at what you do, but you don't have an impact on whether or not we win." Which is really cool to hear in front of all the other coaches. So I'm single now. I'm in a job that, while I actually did have a great time, I really loved that time. And I knew I was appreciated by the athletes and then also the coaches. I wasn't getting recognition from my bosses. And I did know that I had the potential to do more. But the question was, what is more? I love behavior change. I loved research, but I wasn't sure what job that even was. Is it a health coach? I'm not sure. But it meant I would need to go back to school, and this idea it scared me. It scared the crap out of me. So I'm gonna need to move. I'm gonna need to dedicate 4 more years of my life to school. And I had absolutely zero guarantee that 4 more years of school would even lead to a job that I would like or would satisfy my desire to promote behavior change. So what did I do? I ran away from the idea. I thought of anything else that I could do. I visited Syracuse University to talk about their dietetics program. I went to Ithaca to look at a medical weight loss company that was there. I called my cousin, who was a physician's assistant. I called my aunt, who was a nurse, just to talk about what's the process to becoming this. I almost opted to not going back to physical therapy school, but that was the original plan of mine, go to physical therapy school. So I started shadowing a physical therapist. I thought I needed to do all these prerequisites for school, but in this general time frame, I also would travel a lot. I wasn't comfortable sitting still. I'd travel with the basketball team. I'd go to their games. I'd drive my car listening to books on audio. And I was about 45 minutes away from home near the Finger Lakes region when I was listening to this audiobook and talked about this concept of what's called workability. And I had realized that I had all this self-doubt and fear surrounding change, and my brain was telling me a very scary story. It was saying, you're gonna need to go for something that's gonna be a surefire result in a good job. Go for the safe route. It's okay, go for the safe route, or just keep the status quo. It's not that bad right now. So workability simply asks, are my behaviors working in terms of helping me achieve a valued goal? And I realized I was letting my fears and doubts guide my behavior, which was not going to help me achieve my valued goal of studying and learning more about something that I truly found interesting. Once I learned this, I knew it was okay to have this doubt and fear, but it wasn't okay to hold on to it so tightly that I was going to let it guide my behavior. Now, what does this have to do with exercise at all? So we have things that influence us. That might be other people, think peer pressure. That might be the physical environment. Think you want to go for a walk, but it's raining, or maybe the gym's too far away from where you live. But what often influences us is ourselves, meaning our thoughts, our feelings, our attitudes. I ask people all the time, do they have a negative internal dialogue surrounding exercise behavior change? What's the story that your brain tells you? And what does that story say? And about 2/3, if not more, of the people in my group identify with this. Their brain tells them they're too old. Why are they doing this? They're not an athlete. They've tried this in the past. Why would it be any different? I put in all this hard work, but it doesn't result in much, so why bother? Or this is my favorite, maybe not my favorite, that's not the right wording for it, but I'm afraid that people at the gym will judge me. Now, let's not even argue if any of these thoughts are true or if they're false. Let's just ask, are they workable? Now, what is your ultimate goal that exercise is going to fulfill? What does it boil down to? Many people tell me they value their physical and mental independence, that they want to experience the world, that they want to be mentally there, that they want to be able to play with their grandkids, and they want to be able to do that for as long as possible. So let's not get into a debate as to whether these internal storylines are true or false. If we can just ask, if we let these thoughts guide our behavior, will those behaviors subsequently get us the outcomes that we really value? Now, if the answer is no, then it's not workable, and we need to think of strategies to make sure we can still act. But recognizing that you're not your thoughts and that your thoughts are neither true nor false is a valuable lesson in taking control of exercise behavior. So if this concept is helpful, please drop a comment in the chat, and please don't forget to subscribe to the channel to get alerted for more health behavior change content.